Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. For the 9th year, Indianapolis is this weekend hosting the Big Ten Football Championship. But can Indy keep the big game? This weekend's matchup between Ohio State and Wisconsin expected to generate an economic impact of more than $19.5 million. Also add to Indy's reputation as a world-class host for big-time sporting events. With more on the impact and the future of the Big Ten Football Championship in Indianapolis, pleased to be joined by Indiana Sports Corporation President Ryan Vaughn. Ryan, as always, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. We want to talk about the impact in a minute. But first of all, the future of this. Indianapolis has been the one and only host since 2011 of the Big Ten Football Championship. We have the game through 2021. What next? Negotiations to begin fairly soon?
Yeah, so the new commissioner, Governor Warner of the Big Ten, has indicated that the competitive bid process will probably kick off in the beginning of the year, sometime in February. We know several other cities are very interested in hosting this game. It's a special opportunity for any city. We've certainly enjoyed it for the past several years.
Your expectation on those other cities who you think will be in the mix?
Yeah, they're probably going to want to continue to be in an indoor stadium in Midwest countries. So certainly Detroit and Minneapolis will be, we know for a fact, enthusiastic about bidding on this opportunity. But, you know, we don't take it for granted. We intend to compete very hard and hope to keep it here permanently.
From a competitive standpoint, Indianapolis certainly with its amateur and professional sports mantra, the leadership position. But these other markets want it. What are going to be some of the keys, you think, to keeping the Big Ten Football Championship here in Indianapolis?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, around the Midwest, really around the country, people have seen how impactful sports can be for their community, and they've really kind of built their models off of our model. They're putting their stadiums closer to downtown. They're renovating. But we continue to be very competitive. You know, what the community partnership brings to the table is strong. And one of the things that we do better than most any other community that I know of is that we work together. So, you know, it's not just the Sports Corp bringing the Big Ten relationship here. It's the Colts, it's the Pacers, it's the CIB, it's Visit Indy, it's us, the city and the state. And that's our strongest partnership.
Big Ten Football Championship also brings economic impact, pegged at about $19.5 million. Ryan, talk about that impact and how it plays out, not to mention the exposure on Fox Sports and otherwise for this big Wisconsin-Ohio State matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you think about 19.5 annually and the opportunity to host this for at least a decade, over $200 million in economic impact. Hotels are all but sold out. It's actually the largest Airbnb weekend of the year, every year. So restaurants are full. And it's also a great opportunity to put Indy on a global stage media-wise in a very positive light. So it's a very special opportunity and one we don't take for granted.
As you look again at negotiating for future Big Ten football championships, that will come at a time, I think from the Big Ten standpoint, of some other big negotiations too around men's and women's basketball.
Yeah, typically they've sort of put all of those out to competitive bid at the same time. Our men's basketball relationship, we're hosting again this year in 2020 and then again in 2022. And we've been fortunate to host the women's event 24 out of the 25 years it's been in existence. So we'll continue to compete for those and look for events through 27 going forward. And
when it comes to basketball, the East Coast competition too, obviously, New York and some other markets.
You know, as the Big Ten has expanded geographically, they've felt an obligation to introduce those sports to New York and D.C. But again, it's basketball and we're Indiana, so I feel pretty good about our chances to be successful.
Absolutely. As we wrap up, after the 2021, that really begins a really busy stretch for Indianapolis and the Sports Corporation. You've got a men's Final Four. You've got then ultimately after that the college football championship game.
Yeah, we're blessed. You know, NBA All-Star Game, men's Final Four, college football championship, more Big Ten action on each side of that. We're going to need a ton of volunteers and for the community to really engage. And so love it if folks would visit our website at indianasportscorp.org and sign up to be a part of it.
All right. Ryan Vaughn, the president of the Indiana Sports Corporation. Big weekend in Indianapolis and lots of big weekends in the months and years ahead as well. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.